Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to CRN. As tonight we have the NIS Truck Series race number 3 at Las Vegas here tonight. And like I said, it is Las Vegas. Pretty much almost wide open. Don't want to be wide open, right from the jump. Loose tires throughout the run. Track length is going to be 1.52 miles long with a 69-degree track temp and 69-degree air temp as well. So nice, cool, collected track as practice is now over. Going to be set up for qualifying here tonight. Looks like we have about 15 or so, maybe even more drivers out here tonight than we've had. As getting ready for qualifying we go, getting those on up and going, as James Harris in the number 55 machine coming around to start his first of 2 laps here tonight. Again, it is 2 laps lone qualifying, so kind of like what you would see in the official series side on iRacing. You're out there by yourself, don't have to worry about the draft pack or anything like that. Just don't hit the wall and your time will be collected. As James Harris' first lap is going to be a 32.454 for the number 55 machine, as he's going to drop down the list as of right now. Using that first lap as a gaining of a speed lap. James Harris down to the inside one more time. Bottom through 3 and 4. Down below the apron. Getting as close to the grass as he can. Coming right back on up. And that's going to be a quick time with a 30.261 for James Harris. Brad Thacker going to go all the way down to P number 4 as Steve Knight jumps over Robert Lawrence and James Harris. Open setups here tonight. By the way, this league of full-blown custom setups can do anything you want to the truck while you are racing. Stages are enabled here tonight at Las Vegas. Going to go ahead and see what stages are here tonight, as it looks to be about lap 30 is stage 1, 60 is stage 2, and then after that it's 134 laps to get all of the laps underway. 4 tire sets into tonight's race as well. I'm going to see what else we have. Going to have a special guest in the broadcast booth with me here tonight once he gets going and in here tonight. As looking at it, so far it is Aiden Beerline getting the inaugural pole here tonight. Nathan Nicholson sitting at P number 2. Alexander Russell sitting P number 3. Steve Knight in 4th. Eli Childs in 5th. Zach Henry, last week's winner at Atlanta Motor Speedway, sitting at P number 6. Robert Lawrence in 7th. Randy Richard in 8th. Kyle Holden in 9th. Stephen Allen in 10th. James Harris in 11th. Larry McDonald in 12th. Ted Pullen in 13th. Blake Tidwell in 14th. Miguel Correa, I think I said it right the first time. Miguel Carrera in 15th. Brad Thacker in 16th. Dustin Hall, Charles Edward, Adam Benefiel still have yet to post a qualifying time. I believe a lot of these drivers might not use the qualifying. They might want to start from the back and work their way towards the front. But while we have some time, I want to give a big shout out to all the sponsors that came on board here tonight. It's going to be Mardone PC. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at MardonePC.com. If you guys are looking for any type of sim gear, sim rigs, or PC and merch, go over to www.MardonePC.com and get your hands on some exclusive merch. Want to thank everybody out there that has liked, shared, subscribed to CRN. Without you guys, none of this would have been possible. As getting ready to do the grid, going to go ahead and line these drivers on up. Going to go ahead, go through the starting lineup here tonight for the race tonight. It's going to be Aiden Beerline in P number 1 with Nathan Nicholson in second. Third is going to be Alexander Russell. Fourth is going to be Stephen Knight. Rounding out your top 5 is going to be Eli Childs. Zach Henry, last week's winner, going to start a roll off in P number 6. Robert Lawrence is going to P number 7. Randy Richard, 8th. Kyle Holden in 9th. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be Stephen Allen. 11th will be James Harris. 12th is going to be Larry McDonald. 13th is going to be Ted Pullen. 14th will be Blake Tidwell. 15th is going to be Miguel Carrera. 16th is going to be Brad Thacker. 17th will be Adam Benefiel. 18th, Dustin Hall. And rounding out your 19 car field is going to be Charles Edwards. So 19 cars taking the race here tonight. As getting everybody lined on up, they may be doing their drivers meeting as of right now, but nonetheless, I'm now joined by a person that has come to me saying, hey, you know what, I'm free on Saturday nights. It's going to be Patrick Dobransky. A lot of the drivers or viewers out there could possibly know Patrick from the Wednesday Night Lucky Dog Racing League from Wednesday nights, as he is now joined in the booth with me here tonight. How's it going, Mr. Patrick?
Good. It's a nice change of pace from finishing 6th in modifieds every week. I'm really curious to see how these truck guys take to it. I see some Team Conti guys. I am to understand this is an open series, so I guess he's going to take use of that, as well as some of the other folks. Should be interesting.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's all open setups all the way through. You know, you got API, Reaper, PRS, Team Conti. You got a lot of different setup shops out here tonight going for it all. Last week's winner, Zach at Atlanta, getting the win there. Obviously, the new Atlanta, a little bit different pace here tonight, as now we have Las Vegas, right? I mean, everybody loves Las Vegas. I've done a little bit of Las Vegas here and there. Haven't fared too well this week for Las Vegas, but it does tend to happen. Can't be mad at anybody but myself, but pace car going around turn number 3 and 4 for the first time. Pace lights are off. I believe pace truck going to drop down this time by. You're going to see Nathan Nicholson and Aiden Beerline lead these drivers off for the first time here at Las Vegas. As pace car going to do, dropping down this time. Got to wait to the restart zone. 134 laps is the distance. Green flag is out, and we are underway for Las Vegas. Nathan Nicholson not getting any help on the back bumper from the number 79 machine. Aiden's got all the help down to the inside. A little bit tightness for the top 3.
Highline's got no energy. They're all just gapped between each other. The low line is working together very strong there. The 27 pushing the leader with some help behind him. Yeah, effectively, this place does become a plate race after a while, and we're seeing that already.
Yeah, a little bit of a plate race effect towards the beginning in the middle of this race. Towards the end of the tire cycle, you're going to see a lot of these drivers lifting a little bit more, giving and taking as much as they possibly can. As Nathan Nicholson falls in line, he's going to drop 2 positions from where he started. He's going to duck down right behind Eli Childs in the number 90 machine. He's going to dip it back to the outside, trying to get some type of momentum on that outside. Just can't seem to do it yet. Is looking right back here, the number 59 of Kyle Holden, right behind Robert Lawrence, trying to make something happen, but James Harris using that all the apron to his...
I'll put it 3 wide there. Yeah, that was exciting.
That's one thing I could say about this group of guys right here. I mean, everybody has raced with each other as much as they possibly can in the official sides or other leagues as well as uh, me personally. I mean, the way I feel about the apron, you can use the apron. You just got to watch and make sure that when you come back up from the apron that you have enough room to get up to the outside, as we are still single file for probably about the first 6 or 7 trucks. Once you get back here to Randy Richard,
Some
then you
shuffling
start
at the
seeing,
back.
you start
He might
seeing
not be single file for long.
you start seeing them all go double file as Adam Benefield started back in 18th, or 17th, has worked his way all the way up to P number 9. So Adam Benefield trying to make his way up the race leaders. Is back here, Brad Thacker losing the 2 positions on the field, currently sitting at P number 17. Dustin Hall bringing up the rear of the field, losing 1 position, so might be strategic there for the number 1 machine and all these drivers back here. Obviously, like you said, Patrick, it is kind of like a little bit of a plate track type of feel where bump drafting is going to be caused here tonight. Would you rather be in the front, the middle, or the back? That's going to be the main key here tonight.
If it were me, I'd want to be near the front as long as possible, at least in the top 5. There is strategy to be had hanging around the back, but you get to what's called the free rider's dilemma, which is to say, you ride around the back, but if something happens, you're going to be right in it, or hell, you might even lose any opportunity to gain positions at all, and that'll also mess up your pitch strategy. So the further up you go, the better it is, and generally that's counterintuitive for a lot of the advice that people get for plate tracks, or even races like this, frankly, but I think that's where I'd want to be right about now. I don't know about you, but that also makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of torn. Like, yeah, being up front's always good to go, but sometimes, part of me kind of wants to be towards the back and just riding and saving a little bit of fuel and tire as much as I possibly can, and just being there towards the end. Obviously, you don't want to be right there in the middle of the pack. A lot happens towards the middle of the pack, so I'll take the back or the front. Just leave me out of the middle of it, so that way I'm not putting myself into a situation that could potentially ruin my races. These drivers, no fast repairs, 4 sets of tires, all complete open setups, and I mean, it's just like the Coke Series. I mean, you don't have any fast repairs. I believe the Coke Series runs a specific amount of tires, so we're kind of looking at the look for the potential, Road to Pro series and the Coke and all that stuff. So a lot of these drivers in this league do run the Road to Pro series, so hats off to them. Hopefully they can get on into round at number 2 as Eli and Randy Richard. You can see their trucks have the Road to Pro banner on the number 53 and the number 9 machine.
Tough competition, Road to Pro. I tried it for a little bit, but I had to back out. Just wasn't cut out for it. Some of these guys can, and some of these guys right here probably can too, and they'll make it, I'm sure.
Yeah, looking at everybody now, they're starting to spread out now. The 24, Charles Edwards, looking to the inside of the number 81 of, I believe that is Miguel Carrera. He's up on the outside of that Team Conti, number 81, getting passed by fellow teammate Eli Childs, as Adam Benefield has hooked up with James Harris. And they are on a roll now on that outside. The only 2 trucks relatively on that outside getting any type of run formed. Miguel trying to hang on to that draft, just can't get hooked up with the top 2. Not sure what happened to Larry McDonald, but he is off pace, riding back there by himself. Not sure what happened to the number 80 machine. No damage that I can see on his truck as of right now. I'm going to go ahead and go back up here to the top as Aiden Beerline has a rear full of the number 27 of Alexander Russell, our Daytona winner from 2 weeks ago. If you haven't seen that or watched it, go on back there to CRN. You can follow all of the racing action on a CRN is Robert Lawrence looking down to the inside of Nathan Nicholson. Not quite there, but look how much tight he possibly gotten as he falls up behind Nathan. And now that top line might be starting to come in as Aiden starting to take a higher arc into the corner. Alexander getting a little bit tight behind him. And that's one thing that is about these trucks. You kind of want to have that left front out in the clean air, and if you can't get it, that's where you're going to start burning up those tires and getting a little bit tight through center exit.
And generally speaking, you want to be on the outside lane if you want to make moves. The inside line is good on entry, but the outside line is going to be good on exits. If you want to make passes, you go to the outside. You want to play it safe for a few laps, fair enough. You can stick to the inside for a little bit. That's your choice.
As we look right now, Alexander Russell has 2x2 behind him. Nathan Nicholson right behind him as he's going to go down low, get the run with the inside. But now Robert Lawrence, no help down to that inside. Is now Robert Lawrence looking to the inside. Same with Nathan Nicholson, almost making it 3 wide. Had to back out of the throttle there momentarily to not injure or wreck another driver. Is all the way down to the inside, getting all that dirty air across Nathan Nicholson's nose. But Nathan knowing how to play that dirty air to his favor.
Bit of shuffling at the back. They're looking for ways past. Still side by side for the moment, though. Nobody's trying to force it 3. Everybody's being very respectful of each other.
Yeah, super respectful drivers. Obviously, Stage 1 is going to come to an end here in roughly 15 laps. Eli Childs possibly looking to make it 3 wide, backed out of it. That Team Watson, number 59 of Kyle Holden, trying to do what he can to get up towards the front. Just, all these trucks are pretty much evenly matched. There's just nowhere for these drivers to go. You think you have such a great run going for you, and then all of a sudden you don't, as back here in the back, it looked like Dustin Hall looking to make it 3 wide and not going to be able to, as he's going to back out of it, live to fight another day. Yeah, especially with it being this early, as we are 3 wide now. Going down the front stretch, Dustin Hall going to use the apron to his advantage. Miguel's going to back out of it. He doesn't want any part of it. Move Dustin Hall up. He's going to get some spots here. Yeah, move Dustin Hall up one more position as Charles Edwards continues to fall. No, actually, Charles is up 6 positions from where he has started, so good job for the number 24 machine of Charles. Dustin Hall up 6 positions as well, as he has now found his way around. Charles just not able to get that right rear clear.
That one car is going to be my driver to watch. I'm preempting this, and I know it's a tough economy, but I'm going to give him a cigar award already. That's somebody who I can already tell is going to be charging his way to the front. He's got that number 1, and some people just have it just to have it, but it looks like he really wants to be there. Yeah. He's going to live up to that number, hopefully. Let's impress me some. I like what I'm seeing already. Beautiful looking truck, I must say. But beautiful performance so far from that guy. Keep it up, man.
Yeah, Dustin Hall and Adam Benefield both started from the rear of the field. Adam Benefield up 13 positions from where he has started, all the way up to P at number 4. Dustin Hall slowly but surely making his way up to the top of the leaderboard here tonight. 10 laps to go before the end of stage number 1, and I think this is where these drivers are going to start seeing what kind of runs that they can get and to see who's going to follow them, as Adam Benefield using that outside still to his advantage, going to try to get alongside Nathan Nicholson. No, he's going to give him a little bit of a bump and keep himself in P at number 4. There's a little bit of scratches on the front end of that number 83 machine. That's just product of just a little bit of bump drafting here and there. It's nothing too major.
That's just some beauty marks,
Yeah, exactly. See?
It makes it look better,
Yeah. All the memories, kind of like Mater from Cars. You get to dents. I don't ever want to repaint, buff, nothing. Keep the dents in the truck. Is Adam Benefield still trying to find a way around the number 99 machine. He's got the 59 squared up behind him.
He was looking for a way past, though. He did show the nose. He thought better of it and is going to ride behind, but the 59 might be looking for a way past, even if we are approaching the end of the stage here.
Yeah, he did show the nose, but kind of backed off. You could see he backed off a little bit too much, but that could end up helping him out in the long run. Get back up just enough, get a bigger run, and try to get there before the corner ends up happening.
83's got the run off the bottom. He's not going to be able to make it stick, though. He's going to have to stay behind the rest of the leaders in the top 3 there. But he was looking for a way past there. About got it.
Yeah, almost there is Nathan Nicholson. Going to keep it away from that white line as much as he possibly can. Doesn't want to hit that apron. Obviously, you hit the apron, you're going to get tight, push up the racetrack, or you could get loose. Just depends on what ends up happening. As it is Alexander Russell, P1, and there goes out of Meadowfield down to the inside. He hit the apron just a little bit. He's going to get tight and wash up the track.
Oh,
the 59.
That's going to cost him.
Yeah, 59 is going to be able to show his nose down underneath. Robbie Lawrence back behind Adam Meadowfield. He's going to stay behind him. As the 59 not going to be able to get past the Adam Meadowfield.
That could have been nasty there. They was definitely washing up the track line, but they got tight through the exit of the turns here. 59 about hit the 83. I figured he wouldn't, but it looked like they were about to make contact there.
Especially with the truck having as much of the, I guess, net code, you could potentially say, you know, obviously you get these type of plate or these type of mile and a halfs where it's pretty much draft dependent. You know, everybody wants to pinch and side draft, and you know, sometimes it works, other times it does not. As Eli Childs back up to P9, Dustin Hall in the number 1 machine up to P12, still holding strong in 12th place. Holding it down to that inside line as best as he possibly can, getting right on the paint as he's trying to look away around Randy Richard and then number 53 as Randy gets a little bit loose on entry, making Dustin lose a little bit of time there.
One's looking high. Can he make it stick off the top? He's definitely going to have the run off the top. They're side by side for the moment as they go into 1. Oh, this is going to get interesting here. The 53 should have the entry. The 81 is just kind of watching this from behind. For a sec, I thought he was going to try to force it 3. He thinks better of it, but the 1's going to clean him out right there and take the spot. Beautiful drive from that guy so far.
Yeah, beautiful drive, able to make the pass happen. Randy Richard getting a little bit loose into 3 and 4. Sending Dustin Hall up the racetrack, checking up just a little bit, but none is lost. In the number 1 camp is now in front of him. He's got side-by-side action between the 55, the 9, and the 77. 55, no help on that outside. And the bottom lane going to prove dominant there this time by. Is James Harris. Up on the outside.
And they can't go side by side forever. I mean, 2 cars side by side are slower than 1 car by itself. So as long as they keep doing that, the 1 is more than happy to let him go, hey, you guys keep fighting it out. I will make a way through here one way or another. You guys keep fighting.
Yeah, running with Dustin and all that stuff throughout different leagues and official races. That's one of the most patient people I've ever seen run in a stock car or a truck on the sim. As you can tell just by his patience, he's put in the time. He's being nice and patient with everything going through, and already up 7 position where he started. Now looking at P number 10, trying to get the final stage point with 1 lap to go here in stage number 1. Stage number 1 coming to an end. Aiden Beerline getting side by side with Alexander Russell. This may be for a stage win, but it's going to racing like it's the end of the race. Side by side, who's going to be able to get the first stage win? They touch. And it's going to be finish. Alexander Russell with the stage number 1 win. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Alexander Russell going to be your stage 1 winner.
That was quite something. I guess we're going to see how the rest of the race is going to play out if they're doing stuff like that just for stage points. That's pretty impressive.
Well, with Alexander missing last week's race, stage points are going to be crucial to his drive for success. Alex not being here last week, obviously having to take the drop race here tonight. But stage 1 already in the books. 30 laps down, or 30 laps complete. 104 laps remaining here tonight, as we're definitely going to be in for a doozy for the last two stages.
They'll be coming around again. Pit road should be opening soon. Pace car clears it, of course.
I believe right now pace, they're catching up to the pace car, so the pit road entry will be open this time by. I believe you're going to see every single person going into pit road get that service on their car, get some 4 fresh Goodyears, and to see what they can do. As there we go, the whole train down into pit road this time by. Next lap to end of the stage is going to be lap 60, as Alexander Russell getting stage win number 1. Want to give a big shout out to everybody out there that has liked, shared, subscribed to CRN. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. We're coming up, well, actually, we have passed our 2-year anniversary mark of a CRN being all around on YouTube. So I want to give a big shout out to all the leagues that have surfaced to CRN, and glad that we can make your series look good and be as good as it possibly can be with the broadcast side. I want to give a big shout out to Carl Hedwick and Jimmy Covert for allowing me to step in and be part of the CRN family. So without those two, CRN would not be a thing at all. I want to give a big shout out to Brian Haynes and Mardone PC for coming on board and sponsoring this season. So if you guys are looking for sim gear, sim rigs, new PCs, anything like that, or even merch, go over to mardonepc.com and get all of that on their website. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, and the actual web. I think there's another social media. I can't remember. Let me look.
Support brands that support us. I'd also like to thank you for bringing me on board for a day. It feels pretty good up here.
Yeah, it's always nice taking the time to kind of relax and not be in the driver's seat once in a while.
It's definitely pretty entertaining being on the outside of it. Usually I get pretty heated with some of the close short track racing I've been doing as of recent, but now I just get to see how actual professionals do things.
Yeah. Now me, I kind of broadcast more than I race now, so kind of just relax on a lot of different stuff. I mean, the only times that I race is Thursdays and Sundays and Tuesdays, if I, am around, but it all just depends on what tends to happen. As everybody is now caught back up. Looks like Larry McDonald took the 80 machine to the hauler, not having the night that he wants to have. Charles Edwards in the pit lane, and not sure what's going on with him, but a new front row for the start of stage number 2 is going to be the 27 down to the inside, the 13 on the outside. Going to lead these drivers to the green flag. Restart zone is in effect for all of them, as Alexander Russell going to go on the green light, and we are back underway once again, and that inside line really got a good jump on that outside lane.
Starting to into the bottom. The 5 was going to go low, but I guess he's going to stay out there. The 77 is going to block the low line, so he's going to be in no man's land for a little bit. They're going to be single file on the inside line for quite a few laps, like we saw last time, assuming there's no gaps that you can slide into, which doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, looking at it right now, the 13 did not get the greatest restart that he wanted to get. And then I seen Robert Lawrence, the 77 and the 79 all make the drop down to the inside. I thought maybe they got there before the 13 was able to get there, but 13 able to get down there, and then you just seen the 5 jump up out of line and then just kind of fall back. And he's sitting in a pretty good spot. You can still win it win the stage from back there. You just got to time the runs as good as you possibly can. As looking on a board with Robert Lawrence now, and the number 5 machine currently sitting P number 8, is a little bit of a gap between the 5 and the 9 of Eli Childs.
Got the Hendrick number 5 font on there. I wonder where he borrowed that from.
You know, I don't really know.
Never heard of him. No. No idea.
No idea. As looking at it now, what's weird is now that they're all pretty much single file, you don't really see anybody using that apron as much as they possibly could be. I wonder if it's because maybe it could damage your truck or make your truck look kind of ugly with all the scrapes on the side of it. Or it could possibly be, the upsetness of the truck. I mean, I've had it to where, you do it at Phoenix or Chicagoland. You go down there, you get a little bit loose, as Eli Childs now uses that apron to his advantage. Now he's got to get back on up. Dustin Hall on the outside of him going into turn number 1 and 2.
That number 1 car definitely prefers to be on the outside line. I mean, I don't know if that's something that's the setup of the truck is allowing him to do that, but he's trying to pass some Ken Bouchard style. I mean, it's pretty impressive. So long as he's able to stick it on the outside here, he might still be able to make passes that way. Even if it isn't the most dominant line, that truck does seem to prefer it. I mean, maybe my eyes are failing me, but that is certainly what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, looking at it now, Dustin Hall is the setup builder for Team Conti's truck program. Now he sits P number 9 clear of Eli Childs. And there he goes right back up to the outside. Does Robert Lawrence go up to the outside? No, he's going to stick it down low, and it's just a single file train all the way through this track. There's Dustin Hall right there on the right rear quarter panel. He doesn't want to be part of that train. He wants to stay on the outside and make that thing stick. Yeah, you can see now in the corners he goes down to the inside, but down the backstretch or anything like that, he'll move up top. As this time by, he likes to stay behind Robert Lawrence. He doesn't go up to the top where he normally is down the backstretch. As now they're going to be side by side with James Harris for P number 8.
I think what he's trying to do, correct me if I'm wrong, you might be seeing something a bit different. Oh, they almost touched there. But I think he's using the entry of the turn just to give him that wind up. And then once he gets just to the exit, when he sees an opportunity to pass, that's when he goes for it. So he's just using the entry just to give him that buffer. And of course, he can't do it all the time. He's not able to now because there's cars in the way and sometimes on the outside line. So he's just going to kind of ride it out for the moment. I mean, as you can see here, when he's taking on the 5, he can definitely make it stick it off the bottom, man. In fact, he might be able to pass him here. They're going to be side by side as they take the tri-oval, but this might be the one exception to his passes. 59's checking up in the top line there, so yeah, in fact, he's going to get 2 spots that way. Look at that. He's going to pass the 5 and the 59 doing that. But typically, that's what he would want to do, is trying to get hole shots off the top.
Yeah,
I guess he can just make any lane work.
Yeah,
he's dicking and diving back there. Look at that.
Yeah, he 2 for 1 in 1 quarter. Now Robert Lawrence going to try to get 1 in the quarter exit off of 4 for the number 59. He's going to be able to do so. And already, 15 laps till our next stage break. And, absolutely clean and beautiful racing all the way throughout the pack. Dustin Hall up top once again. Gets side by side with the 79. He's going to back out of it a little bit. Get dropped down behind him. Maybe no. He's going to side draft just a little bit. Pull that number 79 back to him. And Dustin Hall making that outside line work for him as much as he can.
He knows he has to get alongside of him because, like I said, 2 cars together side by side are slower than 1. It slows them both down, but it gives them both an advantage to see who can eke each other out. So as long as he's able to do that, as long as he can stick on the outside here as he's doing, he's going to be able to get the hole shot. He's got the 5 behind him to get that air off his spoiler. He might be able to clear him. But as you can see, as he goes into 3, he's got to lift just a touch, because if he doesn't, it's going to push like a dump truck, and sure enough, he will find himself on the outside wall. So he's on a very careful tightrope right now.
Yeah, look at
he knows what he's doing. Look at this. It's just masterful driving that I'm seeing lap after lap from the 1.
Yeah, looking at it now, there we have the gyro cam of the number 1 machine. So you can see exactly how much of the, I guess, the degree banking it is throughout Las Vegas, as they are side by side, almost dooring each other going through the corner. But it's going to be the number 1 using that outside lane to his advantage. Now he can set his sights on the number 77 and everybody else in front of him, and to see if he can't pull off a stage win here tonight, as the top 6 side by side, 2 wide all the way through this track.
And you can hear it. That thing is pretty much not dropping any RPMs as he goes through 3 and 4. It's just sticking. The only reason why he's lifting a little bit, you can see it's almost going to 7,000 RPM, is because he doesn't want to knock out the car in front. But aside from that, if it was clean in front of him, hell, he'd be past the 27 right about now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Look at that. He's still on hard charge.
Yeah, look at that. High sides prevailing here once again. Riding on board with the number 1 machine, as he made all those passes work to his advantage towards the back of the field. Looking at Randy Richard down to the inside. Adam Benefield on his outside with Miguel Carrera. Right in front of them is side by side for P number 12. Is Steve Knight. Falls back to 8th. Now he got up off the bottom, went to the outside, said, hey, you know what? If he can do it, I know I can do it. As now we have everybody migrating to that top side. Only 3 cars in this front packed out of that inside.
They're not going to be able to hold on to it for long. I mean, now we're seeing the opposite situation where the inside line had all the energy. I mean, like you said earlier, and what I said earlier was single file, and that's where everybody wanted to be. But now we have the inverse situation. Everyone wants to be at the top, and as long as we get more cars at the top, they're just going to be able to sail on past. The only advantage that they're going to have on the inside is, well, to stay on the low line to get that entry. That's about it. But now they're starting to scatter a little bit, so there's energy nowhere. I mean, it looks like it's the middle for now, but we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, almost a 3-wide situation right there, as Kyle Holden almost put Steve Knight in the number 9 of Eli Childs 3 wide, and now Adam Benefield bringing his name into the conversation here. Going to push the number 59 machine all the way across the start finish line, trying to get around the 79. Adam Benefield starting shotgun on the field, touches the apron a little bit, gets a little bit loose, able to save it. Going to chase it up the track just a little bit. Still a green flag racing here all the way through the 51 laps that we have completed here tonight.
Now this is racing, people. Nobody's being overly aggressive. Nobody's trying to move people for position a little bit too harsh. Everybody's just racing each other. This is what it's about right here. No signs of a caution anywhere. There might have been some close calls, but it's clear to me these guys have worked with each other for a long time, and they're definitely very respectful of each other. They know what each other are going to do. It's great. I love this. It's a rare sight. Very appreciated.
I wonder going in, because these races are full distances. So whenever you see the truck race on Friday nights, you're going to see exactly what you see on the truck race on Friday nights. You're going to see here on Saturday nights. Full distance races. Just everything is the same, as we are 3 wide for position number 2. Dustin Hall. Going for a 3-peat down on the inside. Got 2 for 1 and 1 quarter. Baby. Looking for 3. Dustin Hall making it work comes. Down on that inside. Just 2 more trucks to pass here. Not able to get the pass done.
He'll get there eventually. Look at that. He's sniffing that car up in front. That 99 is just another obstacle in his way right about now. They're going to be side by side here, him and the 27. 27 is going to edge him out of the top. They're going to be side by side still as they go into the middle of the turn. Can the one stick it off the bottom? He sure as hell can, but it's not going to be enough to completely clear him. He should have the entry to get on. No, he doesn't. The 99 is just barely ahead.
Yeah, the 99 and Nathan Nicholson going to keep it up on that middle lane. Wants to stick up there. Doesn't want to lose any time. As coming down to 5 laps to go in stage number 2. And pretty much just throw a blanket over the top 8. And you pretty much have the... Just throw a blanket over, see who comes out first. As now the 27 is going to be side by side with the number 99 and Nathan Nicholson. 2 EPI teammates going nose to nose. And then you have the 1 Dustin Hall down to the inside, moving his way up to P number 4 momentarily. if he can get a good run on that 13, he'll take over P number 3.
Try. He's going to be side by side there. As with the cars in front, he doesn't really have a place to go. Those 3 rows are kind of locked in where they are.
Yeah, still side by side, top 6. Well, I get you. Top 8 is Adam Benefield making his way up to the front pack here. Same with Randy Richard. Kind of seeing
13.
them towards the back is Steve Knight getting around the number 53. I've ran so many races with Randy Richard. He's another Indiana native, so, you know, we kind of had that in common. Super conservative, always just wants to finish the race without any incident points and wants to keep the truck as clean as he possibly can. And that is Randy's goal every single week. Love racing with Randy as much as I possibly can. He's going to do a little bit of a crossover there on the number 79 and move Randy Richard all the way up to P number 10.
Still, as befits any driver from Indiana, a Midwest Meister. He still knows what he's doing. Looking forward to the month of May, which is coming up very soon. I can't wait to see the 500 this year. I no doubt you folks are as well. But for now, he's going to have to see about working over the 53 car here.
Yeah, you know, even though I live in Indiana, about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours away from Indianapolis, I've never been to the Indy 500. I've been to practice. Just never been to the actual Indy 500. I'm always fishing that day or I'm working. Just depends on if I want to take my vacation that early in the year. But Dustin Hall making his way up to the outside. Going to dive it down to the inside one more time. Going to see what kind of run he can get with 1 lap to go in stage number...
Flipping back there.
Yeah, stage
I saw
number
somebody
2.
tweak it sideways. Was that the 53?
Yeah, that
Looks
would
like
be the number 53.
Car to get out of swords. Damn nice save, all things considered. A beautiful drift. Unfortunately, better to go faster forwards than just slideways, but points for style. I like it.
Yeah, look at now. Nathan Nicholson on that outside has to block that run from the number 13 machine. Going to keep it up top. 77 going to be able to get down below the number 13. Stage win number 2 is going to be the number 99 of Nathan Nicholson. Second is going to be Alexander Russell. Third will be Zach Henry, I believe. Fourth is going to be Aiden Beerline. Fifth is going to be Dustin Hall.
Certainly was more eventful in the first stage, wasn't it? We had a lot of things going on toward the end. We almost had a car on the outside wall backwards. And a lot of hard-charging moves, namely from the 1, but a few other drivers as well. I mean, that was really good stuff from everybody. I loved some 3-wide moves. Started to get interesting now. This is where things actually start to kick off, though. Everybody played it safe for the first stage. Everybody knew where they wanted to be. Some free riders toward the back, especially, but you know, right around here, we started to see some more moves just to get themselves, you know, some stage points and maybe some pit road advantage just to cycle out a little bit better, more preferable position. But now, this is where things start to kick off.
Yeah, looking at the YouTube chat here, Beerline Racing say, let's go. Barry Kistler, good luck to all drivers tonight. Amy Tidwell say, come on. Brendan Himmel, Eli is my dad. We love Eli. Justin Martin, let's go Tidwell. Glenn Thurman, my money's on Nicholson. So we got some Tidwell fans, some Beerline fans, and some Nicholson fans out there in the race chat.
I hear that Glenn Thurman guy has some pretty valid opinions, though. But, I mean, he should know. He's made some very good racing documentaries over the past little while. Fittingly, on the 1 car, if anybody wants to learn about the legacy of the 1 car in the Cup Series in NASCAR, go check him out. Everything from all the way back to the days of Steve Park, all the way to today's Trackhouse's own Ross Chastain.
The Hail Melon.
Hail Melon. Can you believe I missed that? I saw the highlights of it a day later. I was playing Bomber Crew on the Xbox because the rest of the race was kind of whatever. I figured it was going to be a wreck fest, and the one moment that I should have stuck around for, I missed.
Hey,
At least
man.
I was there for SVG's win.
Hey, you know what? I wasn't there for SVG's win, but I was hanging around in Discord with Nathan Nicholson and all the others. They had the race up in Discord. We were all watching the NASCAR race, and that man can drive. Let me tell you, you put SVG in a cup car at any kind of road course, and you're going to see some magic come out of that number. I don't even know what number he's going to be driving this year for the Cup Series, but can't wait to see what SVG does at the road courses. I believe he's going to run the road courses in the Cup Series this year, and then obviously get promoted to full-time into the Cup. But Nathan Nicholson able to come out on top of the pit box here. Third, pretty much everybody that wherever they pit is pretty much where they're going to come out of. And now you had two full-blown 60-lap run or 30-lap runs, no cautions. What's going to be the strategy here tonight now that you're in the second stage? Is it going to be maybe a little bit of tire conservative mode, or are you just going to try to bum rush to the front, try to get some laps led, or is it more of kind of just pick and choose where your battles are going to be at?
That's what's going to be interesting. I know the number one car's got his horns out. I think, based on what I've seen today, he's definitely going to be one of the more pushy drivers tonight. He's definitely been careful. He's been what I call careful aggressive, but keep an eye out for that one car.
Yeah, as we got some time, we're going to go ahead and go through this lineup, give you guys a look at all these pretty-looking trucks here tonight. Nathan Nicholson, the number 99, 1-8 Coffee Company Race API, powered by Norse Force Racing, number 99. Alexander Russell, JDR Graphics, in the number 27. Zach Henry in the Undercurrents, number 77. Aiden Beerline in the Race EPI, powered by North Sports Elite Performance Industries, number 13. Dustin Hall, Team Conti Mardone PC, with the J. Seminaro designs and a little Jimmy Strong ribbon on the side of that truck. I feel for him there, as I do anything I can for him, especially during any type of league race type events. If it's Auto Club or Indianapolis, I'm making it a Jimmy Strong race for Dustin Hall. 9 times out of 10, Dustin's able to make the races. Other times, he's not able to. The number 5, Mardone PC Team Conti GG of Robert Lawrence. The number 59, Team Watson Racing Setups of Kyle Holden, Adam Bedfield, and the number 83, Team Conti Sims Performance Apex Designs, Mardone PC, number 83. Impact Sim Designs, number 55, Reaper Speed Lab of James Harris. Brad Thacker, and the number 56, Mid-Pack Missile. Steve Knight.
I love that name. Sorry, go on.
The 79, Ghost in the Machine of Steve Knight. Miguel Carrera in the number 81 at TeamConti.gg File Life Designs. Ted Pullen in the number 15, United Refrigeration Incorporation. The number 12, Big Barlow's Barbecue EPI Run number 12 machine. Blake Tidwell in the Alabama number 35 machine. Eli Childs in the black Mardone PC Road to Pro TeamConti.gg. Randy Richard in the number 53 Team Conti Sim Performance.gg. Getting ready to go back to race time, and we are underway. Nathan Nicholson getting a beautiful jump on the field, clearing the top two by about 2 car lengths. But with it being Vegas and having the
That could have been close there.
Yeah, with the draft playing a big factor, they're going to eat them up like you would see at Daytona, as there was almost a caution there right off the jump. The 27 dropping down in front of the number 1 machine, the 1 having to check up just a little bit, as now Robert Lawrence getting shuffled out. He's going to drop all the way down to the back, and here comes Adam Benefield down to the inside of Aiden Beerline.
He's going for it.
Yeah, he's definitely going to go for it.
Going for it. 59 showed the nose, but he thought better of it. There's an apron there. He's not going to force a 3 wide that way, but he definitely wanted it. Now, when the 27 found his way in there and made a gap for himself, so to speak, you may have noticed, or you may not have noticed, that the 1 kind of wagged left and right for a little bit there. I like to imagine this him waving his finger at the same time. I didn't think too much of that right there. And he's going to pay him back here. Well, he might not. He thought, no, he'd had an opportunity to pass the 27, but it quickly shut on him. but he'll get it back soon. The 83 is a man on a mission. The 59 behind him is going to keep the 13 to the outside. He's going to be all by his lonesome on no man's land for the first little while here. As once again, as we saw in the previous stages, single file racing on the bottom.
Yeah, looking at it now, the biggest mover is going to be Dustin Hall and Adam Benefield in the number 1 and 83. Dustin is up 14 positions from where he has started. Adam Benefield is up 12 positions from where he has started. The one put the nose in there and move him on up to P number 3 if he can get the pass done. The one said, you know what, you're going to show me that hole, I'm going to take it. In the words of Brad Keselowski, they are race car drivers. You're going to show me a hole. I'm going to take the move if I can. Move the one machine up to P number 3, and here comes the 83 to follow.
If you don't hope for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. And well, if that's true, Mr. Senna, number 1 is definitely a racing driver. P3 for that guy. Look at him go. 83 not far behind him. The 59 and the 55 following that train of supremacy all on the bottom still.
But out front, it is all Nathan Nicholson with the clean air, and that's another thing that we didn't really get to talk about is the clean air. The clean air is where you kind of want to be. As the 59 getting a little bit loose, he's going to have to chase it up the racetrack. That's going to allow the 55 to get on by as they're side by side for P number 4 with the 83 and the 27. A little bit of contact there going down to turn number 1.
The 59 is going to be looking for a new seat insert when they're finally done in the next pit cycle here. That was close. I'd definitely be terrified in that thing right about now.
Yeah, that's going to be another thing going into pit road with the green flag pit stops. Calling it out, getting it all set up, making sure you have all your adjustments in that you need to have. As all the way down underneath the apron, 27 not giving any room to that number 1 machine of Dustin Hall, and down to the inside looking for P number 2 with the 83 all over his back bumper, looking to make it.
They're about to be 3 wide. Oh no, thank God they thought better of it. That could have been disastrous.
Yeah, the one in the 83 with a 27 almost 3 wide didn't make it happen. But so far, Aiden thought 83 was going to go down below the apron, and that's one thing you definitely got to watch out for. Some drivers use the apron, some don't. A little bit of neck code between the 1 and 27. 27 able to hold it. There's that net code I was talking about. That dreaded little bit of net code from any of these drivers. The way that these drivers are racing, you would think it's the final lap. I mean, they're beating and banging, not giving them much room. Is still side by side for the race lead as the 77 gets the race lead from the number 99.
One's giving him a helping hand there. You both want to lead this thing. One's like, oh, I'll give you a helping hand. Why not? Let's get out of this mess. Let's blow this joint.
Yeah, the one pushing the 77, but here comes the 83. Looking to make it 3 wide. Didn't get there. Backed out of it. Dropping back down to 2 wide. The one getting a little bit tight, maybe a little bit loose coming off corner exit. You see them kind of drift a little bit wide and then all the way back down to the inside, side by side for the top 10 positions.
And folks at home got to remember, aerodynamics do matter in these 3,400-pound bricks. I mean, you get somebody really close to your spoiler, that spoiler doesn't work too good no more. You get somebody off your nose like the one's got, that front splitter doesn't work too good no more, and you're entirely reliant, or damn near entirely reliant, on mechanical grip as they all go out of sorts. Everybody saves it. They're about to 3. They're still
getting
turned. God.
Everybody's scattering. Caution flag is going to be out, and this time I'm going to go ahead and go back and see what happens. They're still wrecking
at the back there.
Towards the back.
2 cars together.
Going to have to go back and get a quick CRN replay, see what happens here. Going to have to rewind this just a little bit, see what happens. As it all starts with Dustin. Yeah, see, okay, Alexander giving Dustin a little bit of a shot, a little bit of net code. That's going to get Nathan Nicholson a little bit loose. Nathan's going to be able to save it. If there's one thing that Nathan can do, he can save a vehicle. The one's going to be completely sideways as well. As
apron saves him a little bit, though. Straightens him out with the less banking on the bottom, so he's going to be able to ride up a little bit. 27 to 79 are going to touch just a little bit, and then
the net code between the 99 and the 1 was absolutely dreadful.
Or was it the 13 that got him?
I don't know. There's
It
just a
almost
lot
looked
going
like
on here.
there was so much there. To me, it looked like the 13 touched him a little bit. Definitely got some help from the 1 there as well. It might have been a little bit on both.
I believe the 15 of Ted Pullen may have gotten involved here. I believe that's who was going around. Is looking at it now. I believe it. Yeah, it was him. Brad Thacker coming on up, tagging him. They're going to spin after the caution was already out. Everybody was getting slowed down, but obviously having Brad coming up through the grass, not a lot of traction as Stephen Allen locking the truck down and everybody trying to avoid and miss. 59 is going to smack the wall, and that's going to bring out our first caution of the night. Actual caution, and not having to use the stage as a caution, as the one of a Dustin Hall got pummeled through the back. Let's see what the rear end looks like on that number 1 machine. It looks brand spanking new on that number 1 Team Conti.gg machine.
I'll give him one less thing to worry about. I mean, these guys were no doubt looking into pit strategy pretty soon. Helps if your car's not damaged, but not the way he would have wanted that pit strategy.
Yeah, definitely didn't want to have the pit strategy like that, but hey, it all happened from a netcode. If anybody does not know what netcode is, pretty much that incident that you've seen with the 99 going around, the 1 never touched the 99, and the 99 got sent on around. Now, on stream, it doesn't look that bad. But Patrick, I know you've had the netcode where you're side by side and all of a sudden you're like, it feels like your rear end hikes up in the air and you're just going around, right? That's pretty much. I can
definitely speak from experience.
Yeah,
yes.
That's pretty much what it's going to feel like, especially inside the truck. You're going to think that they actually touched you, but they didn't, and it was nothing but netcode. As James, just letting you know, blue cone lives matter, sir. We're not allowed to hit the blue cones. We cannot hit the blue cones.
They have feelings.
Yes.
They're people too.
Yeah,
Be
exactly.
considerate.
We can't be going around hitting the blue cones, man. We got to keep the blue cones.
They volunteer their time on the weekends to mark where the entrances and exits are to pit lane. They're not even getting paid to do this. They're volunteering their time to do that, and that's the way you pay them back? I'm not sure you should be leading this race right about now. That's not the right attitude to have.
Now, I've seen it in some instances where, like messing around, like a buddy of mine went around messing around at, I believe it was Daytona. He didn't realize that he had the blue cone stuck to his car for half of the race. And
that must have been a nice memento.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely fun for him. He couldn't keep up with the pack. And then, obviously, whenever he went down into pit lane, the cone ended up coming out of his car. But, yeah, it could definitely get stuck inside of your car. So you definitely want to make sure nothing like that does happen.
One of my favorite moments I've had with blue cones is the Proto GT series on iRacing. For those who don't know, it's supposed to be like the old American Le Mans series. They run 2006, 2008 era endurance racing cars like Corvettes and Acuras from that era and Ford GTs. The Acuras are basically they're like closed fendered Indy cars. In fact, they use IndyCar engines, and the front splitter and the rear spoiler are very sensitive. So one of the folks that was testing out Daytona, it was just a practice session, but they were trying out one of the setups I was helping develop, and they didn't realize that when they just barely touched the blue cone, it flung up and hit the rear spoiler. It's like, why is the thing pushing, or sorry, not pushing, but why is it so loose on exit? I thought you got this thing fixed up with tire pressures and all this. I go, check the replay, and sure enough, there it was. The rear wing was bent right across the middle where the blue cone hit. I didn't see it when he was clearing pit road.
Oof. See, I stick with cars with fenders. I just never really got into the F1 type of cars. Is getting ready to go back green here, complete new row. The 55, 59 going to lead these drivers to the green flag. Green flag is out. James Harris getting a beautiful jump on the field here tonight, as the 77 going to jump right on up to that back bumper. As towards the back, Miguel Carrera using that inside lane. The 53 is going to be able to drop down in front of the 79. And already the single file train has begun.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
Yeah, looking at this. Alexander getting stuck on the outside with Zach Henry, last week's winner. Aiden Beerline says, you know what? We're going to make it. Aiden down to the inside, 3 wide, 4P number 2. Who's going to come out on top?
Wide.
4 wide going through turns number 1 and 2. But it's going to be Aiden, 3 for 1. We've seen the 1 for 1, the 2 for 1, and now we got a 3 for 1. As Aiden says, you know what? I'm going for the race lead now. Hold my beer. Here I come on the outside of James Harris.
I gotta commend that. There's a second cigar award of the race. That goes to the 13 car for one of my favorite moves. My God, that took guts right there. That was quite something. I'm not sure if I would have gone for that, but hey, some people are lesser than others, and I'm lesser than that guy is right now. Well done.
Yeah, looking at it now, the gaps between the drivers making it work their best as Aiden grabs the race lead one more time. Adam Benefield all the way up to P number 3. Has James Harris down on the inside. But don't look now. That number 1 is coming.
Oh, he's on his way. You know, there he is right there. He was at the back for a little bit there after that restart, but he's on the war march. You can hear those war drums kicking away as he's moving up there. He's looking for a way past the 81. He's just going to be slower on entry, but he's going to get the whole shot on exit and should be able to be side by side here in just a moment as they take the tri-oval. They just about are. Just a fender between them as they try to run side by side here as they take it once again, going into turn 1. 81 damn near tapping the 53 from behind. The 1 still stays side by side, almost thinking of going 3 wide there on the bottom. But they're about equidistant still. And that goes true for the next couple rows ahead of them. 5 looking to stick it alongside as well.
Yeah, looking back here, the number 12 machine of Stephen Allen trying to make something happen. One of the more conservative drivers, me being an EPI development driver along with Stephen Allen, we kind of get to correspond, run the same setups, give our intake on how everything is set out to run. And Stephen always gives great feedback to the setup builder over at EPI. And Stephen putting his mind to it, trying to get everything in and through his Ted Poland. Trying to find a way around the number 12 machine. He's going to dip down low, show the bumper. He's going to be there. Door bumper clear for the number 15. You know what, Patrick? This is something that we have not seen all race long, but the top 2, the 13 and the 27, they're able to pull away from the rest of the pack. And that's quite odd considering we have not been able to see that all race long until now.
Didn't pay that much close attention to that last pit cycle, so maybe I missed something. There might have been some alternate tire strategy that I wasn't aware of, or maybe there weren't the takers where I thought they would have been, and perhaps that's where the difference was. But if that's not the case, then no, there's definitely some magic in those 2 trucks right now.
As the 83 and the 1 have gotten hooked up on the outside. So you got the 83, the 1, and the 5 up on the outside. The 77 trying to catch back up to the... Oh, what was that?
Mother of netcode. Mother of netcode. That was god-awful.
That was weird-looking netcode there. That was really weird.
That's one way to figure a way past. Wow, and the 1 would have had no idea. That's the terrifying thing with netcode, is you're just a passenger when that happens. I mean, it just shot him forward as if he had JADO attached to the back of his truck. I mean, I've seen pretty bad netcode in the past. I've seen Indy cars run on Talladega on the service before at 236, and they're 2 cars away from each other, but yet they send them off the stratosphere. But that was up there. I'd argue that was even worse than some of the things I've seen in the past on here. Good Lord.
Yeah, I didn't even see it happen until I seen Dustin Hall going sideways. Dustin Hall's got a lot of damage on that number 1 machine. He's going to lose all that time as they're going to be 3 wide going into turn number 3 and 4. Nathan Nicholson making his way around the number 15 and the number 1 machine as of right now is just a weird looking effect there about 2 laps ago.
And as I've said, aero matters in these things. So I mean, if that splitter's pretty crunched, as I reckon it probably is after that, he's not too happy in that thing right now. And nor is that truck. I mean, that's only going to get worse as the runs go on.
Yeah, looking at it now, you can tell Dustin's just waiting for that caution. Doesn't want to sit in pit lane and fix all that damage, obviously, because, you know, you're going to lose a little bit more time as you fix all of that damage. The 27 getting a little bit tail happy there. Try to keep with the number 13 machine. We are 91 laps in out of 134. And I think it's time
zigzagging.
I believe, Patrick, it's time we turn the mics down, turn the engines on up, and give these fans a little bit of "You Love to Hear It." And we are back. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the You Love to Hear It special there. Pit stops on the rise. As soon as we went to You Love to Hear It, you start to see it. Everybody start to check up. A lot of drivers losing a lot of time throughout the pit stop cycle. And obviously, with it being at Vegas, you kind of want to maximize that pit stop as much as you possibly can. Getting into pit road, you can gain a lot of time getting into pit lane, and that's what we're seeing here as top four still have yet to pit. The 5, the 81, the 77, and the 99 still got to go down pit lane. Have not been able to do so just yet, as I believe maybe the 5 looking down to the inside. Normally when people go down to the inside like that, they're going to go into pit lane. No, the 77 and 99 both going to go down into this time by. Get those trucks slowed on down, and look how much time Nathan gained. Was able to pass the 77 on a pit road entry, and now there were only 2 as your top 2 still have yet to pit. 106 laps in out of 134, and we're going to see exactly how many laps of fuel these guys can take, as we're going to bring up our pit, if I can find it.
Ooh, almost out of source there for the 5.
Is now the leaders going into pit lane this time by. Pit stop lap is looking about 76 to about, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 laps, give or take, is going into pit lane. 4 tires, possibly the last set of tires that these drivers have on deck for them. So we're going to go ahead and hide that now and go up to the race leader. That's going to be Dustin Hall in the number 1 machine, with a little bit of damage on the number 1 machine, but he's getting some TV time. He's getting some laps led, and that truck has seen some better days.
No, that thing is, that's a warhorse now. I mean, hell, even if they don't get that thing uncrinkled out, I say hanging up on the wall, that's worthy of a plinth on its own, I think.
Yeah, you can
and
just
some
see the
folks at home
speed
should take
deficit.
note. I mean, this is why you practice green flag stops. When you're in your practice lobbies, in the truck series, or any series for that matter, that's why you do it. A lot of these guys are getting pit road entry speeds, and they're damn good at it, and they're not getting penalized for it because they know just how to eke out those margins, and that pays dividends. If it's a league race or if it's a regular race on the schedule, it doesn't matter. It's huge. It pays dividends to do so.
Yeah, another thing to do as long as, getting into pit lane, getting into your pit box. You don't want to overstep your pit box, slide into your pit stall, as Randy Richard is going to go to the point here. He's going to get a lap led here tonight at Las Vegas. That comes on lap number 110, so mark up Randy Richard for getting a lap led here tonight.
Big ups to that guy. He's got one on the board. That should pay out during the rest of the season.
Getting some extra bonus points for leading a lap there. Dustin Hall getting some laps led as well. And once the pit stops contend down there for Randy Richard, the lead is going to go back to Alexander Russell once those 2 drivers go into pit lane. And I believe this is going to be the fight for the race win. The 27 and the 13 battling for P number 1. So far, they're just kind of holding strong. Just want to be single file as of right now. Get as much of a gap as they possibly can. As of right now, it's only, give or take, 3 to 4 seconds between him and Nathan Nicholson, and Nathan's got a truck behind him, and that's going to be the number 77 of Zach Henry.
Laps are winding down. Opportunities to make any other further advancements past these 2 are kind of disappearing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens from here on out. Can they make it on fuel? Do they have to stop one more time? It remains to be seen still.
They can see there Top two, 31.768, 31.0801 for the top two. Alexander Russell and Aiden Beerline coming around to take their next lap. Going to see their times. And it's going to be a 30.4s. So they keep clicking off these laps. I mean, they're just not getting on the backstretch. Randy Richards just crossed our finish line. So about half a track distance between the four drivers, as Dustin Hall kind of losing a little bit of the draft from a Randy Richard, but can still make it up.
I wonder how many people took only 2 tires on those last stops. I mean, that's the only advantage you can really have. I mean, it does pay dividends to get 4, obviously, but at this point, track position might be the priority. I mean, given the way these trucks ride around here, as we keep repeating ad nauseum, it is effectively a plate track, and therefore tires don't matter as much. I mean, they do still play a role. I think it's on average of about 12 laps or 14 laps, they drop down to about like 95%. So it does pay off, but it's mostly your right sides because the tire stack really benefits from any kind of swaps. So it's going to be curious to see what played out where.
So looking at it now, it looks like, so looking at it, they all had about 40 to 44 seconds. So pretty much the time it gets you on a pit road, your pit stop and getting off. Dustin Hall had a 1 minute and 15 second. Looking to see if, nope, don't see where they say that how many tires they took. But nonetheless, I mean, I think right now, Randy and Dustin Hall are playing the long game. Gonna run the fuel dry and then go in and make their final pit stop. Is Dustin Hall getting passed by, I believe it was Charles Edwards. Yes, Charles Edwards in the number 24 machine. Currently 3 laps down. And he's going to try to do the Bill Elliott and unlap himself.
Really feel for that guy. I mean, he's had a strong run all day. And did you say it was over a minute on his pit stop there when he was going in last time around?
Yeah, 1 minute and 15 seconds for that number 1 machine, and
no doubt that was repairs mostly.
Yeah, not able to get all of them done, as you can tell by the number 1 machine of Dustin Hall. But coming around to take almost 20 laps to go here. Yeah, just under 20 laps to go here tonight. And I mean, anything can happen. I mean, you got a 2-second gap between second. Aiden Beerline and Alexander Russell, they're coming. They were 20 some odd seconds back, and now they're down to 10 seconds. So those two drivers doing what they can to catch up to Dustin Hall. But, you know, it's one thing to catch somebody. It's definitely another game to pass them.
Indeed, and so it's like you said, anything could still happen, but it's definitely going to take a Bill Elliott-sized miracle for that number 1 car to have anything happen. So he might be able to, at best, maybe get a lap back if more things happen. If there's a caution, then there's a possibility he can maybe eke back 2 laps. I mean, I think I am to understand he's the first one that's a lap down, so he might be able to claw something back, but that's going to be difficult, to say the least.
So as of right now, Dustin Hall sitting P number 2. He's currently on the lead lap. The first car 1 lap down is going to be the number 59 of a Kyle Holden. He's going to be 1 lap down. Blake Tidwell is going to be 1 lap. And then you have Charles Edwards, who is 3 laps down. Steve Knight, Adam Benefield, and Larry McDonald all have put their cars behind the wall, packed it up for next week's race. I believe that's at Bristol next week, so can't wait to see that one. Going to be short track racing, get away from the 1.5 miles and go on to some short track migrations.
That's my kind of business right there. First of all, I love Bristol. It's one of my favorite tracks on the planet, but it's just, I love trucks on the surface run really great and are really fun at the short tracks, but I'm really curious to see how these guys are going to take it on, because it could either be a bloodbath or it could just be damn close, good old-fashioned short track racing.
Yeah, looking at it now is Randy Richard. Still out to a 3-second lead over Dustin Hall, and then you have Alexander Russell with a 7-second lead over, or 7-second deficit to Dustin Hall. And these two still doing the drafting technique and trying to get themselves to a position where they want to start battling for the race win. With 10 laps to go, the one machine finally dipping down pit lane. Does Randy Richard have enough in his tank, or does Randy Richard got to come down pit lane within these next 10 laps?
That'd be interesting. It's going to be really tight, especially given what he's got with him there. I mean, I believe they're tandem draft. Didn't they ban that at one point in the Truck Series?
I
guess they can get away with
so,
it here.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they did that? Yeah, it was probably like it was a short spell.
Randy Richard in pit lane.
Oh, here they come. Not these two guys, but the other folks definitely taking.
So Randy Richard, I mean, got to give it to him. I mean, he stretched it as much as he possibly could. Last pit on lap 76. 76 to 125. So
he was definitely out of options there. He just ran it dry, figured I'll do what I can, and just, had to do it.
Yeah, you
Except
see there,
for what it was.
Race or battle for the race lead is going to be between these two drivers. Going to put Kyle Holden down one more lap again. So Kyle Holden going to go back down one lap after he got his lap back. Now he's going to be one lap down. Randy Richard coming out of pit lane this time by. He's going to go to one lap down. As now you got a 3-car tandem here at Las Vegas. 9 laps to go here at Las Vegas.
Now we're starting to see the thing about 1.5 miles and even super speedways in many cases. It becomes a tire test after a while. I mean, especially under green flags, which makes it interesting. I like pit strategy and all that, but I think it's going to be especially interesting come Bristol, because it's going to be dogfights and pit strategy. You won't see things strung out quite like this, I should suspect. Especially with lap traffic, it's going to make it mighty interesting. So I can't wait to see next week.
Yeah, definitely going to make it interesting here tonight. Noting what is going on, there's a 3-second gap between first, second, and third. So third place is going to be Nathan Nicholson. He's got the 77 all over his back bumper. And there's Dustin Hall. That's the only car between the race leaders, other than the 59, that are not battling for any positions. If for some odd reason they get a late caution, I think we're going to see balls to the wall, high octane dry racing from a lot of these drivers. As here comes Randy Richard on the fresh tires. He's going to be able to make the pass 2 for 1 before the turn at number 1, and no, Randy is going to not get clear of him. Now that he will. And if I'm, Nathan Nicholson, you would have wanted to see that 53 get around you going into the corner, or before the corner even started, so that way you can run your inside lane. But on the second hand, you have the number 53 machine. He's got the fresher tires. He's in front of you now. You can kind of use that draft just a little bit to help you catapult yourself up to the top 2.
Yeah, grip is king. And you see this something akin to what they do in endurance racing, where lower class cars like GT3s will use the higher end endurance racing, Le Mans type specials, if you will, to just give them that little bit of an edge. So they figured, well, what the hell? He's several laps down or whatever. But you may as well just use them as a pick to just give yourself a little bit of a gap over the ones behind. So the 53 is definitely very useful to both those cars right now.
Yeah, 53 being a useful truck indeed, as we are now under 5 laps to go here tonight at Las Vegas. The battle for the race lead is going to be between these two up here, the 27 and the 13. Now, in your opinion, Patrick, let's say you're the 13, would you want to try to force yourself to get that race win? Or are you thinking in your back of your mind, looking down at that relative, be like, hey, you know what? We got a 3-second lead on third and fourth. You just want to ride and just finish how we are right now? Or do you want to maximize your points to get that race win?
I'm all about maximizing it, baby. And I'll tell you what, you already have the gap. You've already been working your way to the front for quite a while. He's only one more spot. Why not go for it? You know, and he's definitely going to ride around for a little bit. He's just going to be biding his time with the 27. You can see him joking and drive a little bit just to let him know, hey, I'm right here and I ain't going nowhere yet. But if I was at 13, especially with even 3 to go, and he's even going to go for it now, look at this. Yeah. He's not going to wait till 3 to go. He's going to go for it right now. They're going to be side by side as they go into the backstretch going into 3.
And, you know, this could play dividends to these two now side by side for the race lead. Going to see how much of a gap gets pulled down now between these two being side by side. Give that lap to the number 27. Final lap of this time by. Who's it going to be? Side by side drag racing down into turn number 1 and 2. 27 get a little bit tight. He's going to roll up the track just a little bit, but Aiden not able to get clear down the backstretch for the final time. Into 3 and 4. 13 down to the inside. 27 on the outside. Who's it going to be down to the inside? Goes to 13. Off of turn number 3 and 4. Drag race off turn number 3 and 4.
They're touching. They're
go into 13. He's going to be able to get it. 13 is going to get the win in a close finish. No, I've never.
Unbelievable. They were going for it. Nobody let go. They didn't just go, I'll give you a buffer. No, they were banging all the way to. They're still going for it. That's just a love tap on the back. Well done. But man, that was quite something. I knew that it was going to be pretty intense toward the end, but that's the finish I wanted to see. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was an absolute phenomenal finish. Going to go ahead and empty all of this out and watch Aiden burn it down here tonight for the race win. Race EPI powered by Norse Force getting the race win here tonight in the NIS Truck Series race number 3 at Las Vegas. What an amazing finish. We've seen these two finish side by side in stage number 1. It was the exact same way for the end of the race. And Aiden getting the upper hand this time by for the race win here tonight at Las Vegas.
Hey, Aiden, they don't need that grass down there no more. You can mow it for them. Just get rid of it. They don't need it after today.
Yeah.
We don't need that motor either. Get it out of here. Get it all out of here.
Yeah, if you don't blow it, then you're not doing it correctly, sir. So make sure you get that motor blown. Here's going to go ahead and burn it down a little bit more. But while he's doing that...
He doesn't need those tires anymore.
He doesn't need the tires, doesn't need the motor. He doesn't need anything on that number 13 machine. As he's still going to go ahead and go. We're going to go ahead and pull up the race results here tonight. As... First is going to be Aiden Beerline collecting his first win of the season. Second is going to be Alexander Russell. Third is going to be Nathan Nicholson. Fourth is going to be Zach Henry, Eli Childs in fifth. Robert Lawrence in the sixth. Miguel Carrera in the seventh. Eighth is going to be James Harris. Ninth will be Brad Tucker. 10th is going to be 10 Poland. 11th will be Stephen Allen. 12th is going to be Kyle Holden. 13th, Randy Richard. 14th, Dustin Hall. 15th, Blake Tidwell. 16th is going to be Charles Edwards. 17th, Steve Knight. 18th will be Adam Benefield. And rounding out your 19-car field is going to be Larry McDonald. So Aiden still out there doing his victory burnout. There it goes. The engine finally was able to go. As we're going to go ahead and rewind this lap after lap and get our top 3 into the broadcast booth for their post-race interviews. We're going to start off with the number 99 of Nathan Nicholson. As get a good camera angle of that number 99 machine. Empty this on out. and grab our third place finisher of Nathan. As now we are joined by our third place finisher. That's going to be the number 99 Race EPI powered by Norse Force Toyota Tundra. Nathan Nicholson. This is Dylan and Patrick of the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. You had a good race all in all. I mean, we seen you all the way up to the top side the majority of the race. You migrated when the track wanted you to migrate. You didn't stay down on the inside. A little bit of net code there with Dustin Hall halfway through the race, but you battled back to finish top 3. What was mainly your strategy for this whole race?
Really no strategy. It's just a plate race. Everybody's so packed together. The only separation you get is pit stops. So the guy behind me is a good buddy of mine, so we kind of just planned out when we were going to pit, and it seemed to work out for us.
Yeah, we actually watched you guys get into pit road entry. He was in front of you going into pit lane entry, but you being so well at mastering the downshift and getting into pit road, you were able to pass the 77 into pit lane, but you guys came out at the same time, pretty much stayed nose to tail, trying to run down the front 2, just not able to do so, ran out of laps. But now, you got through the first 3 races. Obviously, you missed last week due to another play style track. Now we move on to, I believe it is Bristol next week. What's going to be the mindset for you going into that race?
Survive. Not get run over.
That's pretty much all there is to it with Bristol. It's going to be a dogfight out there.
Yeah, I'm going to try to work on not wearing the left front out, because with the loads at Bristol, you can actually wear the left front tire out the most, which will cause you to spin around.
Well, Nate, with that being said, before we let you get on out of here and celebrate that third place finish here tonight, is there anybody on that number 99 Toyota Tundra you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to all the EPI boys, the ones that were in the race. We finished 1, 2, 3, 4. We had a couple others, but they were in the back a bit. Y'all for broadcasting, Eli for putting on this league, even though Eli can be a pain to me sometimes, but we're all friends.
All right, Nate, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and let you get back down there, hang out with everybody, and we'll be talking to you again hopefully next week.
All righty, man. Catch you later. It's going to be 2 weeks. We're off next week.
2 weeks. Yep. 2 weeks time. 2 weeks time. There we go. We got it.
All right. Catch you later.
Catch you later.
Later.
All right, that's going to do it for our third place finisher. We're going to go ahead and move on up to our second place finisher. That's going to be Alexander Russell. Make sure I got the right person. I do. We're going to bring him on up into the broadcast booth. That's going to be the number 27 machine. Alexander, this is Dylan and Patrick in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, we do.
All right, Alex. What another finish here to cap off the 3-race party of the season. Obviously, you got the race win at Daytona, missed last week, came back here, got the stage 1 win over the 13 by a mere, I don't know, maybe a bumper. Looked like a
I don't know. It was close. It was close.
It kind of reminded me of the Atlanta finish in the real life race, but then coming down the final stage of the race, you and that 13 working well together.
We got hooked up. I saw stage 1. He had a lot of speed in it, so it was kind of like a lot of these guys had speed, and we got shuffled together out of some weird circumstance. I was laughing about it just before, but we got together. I was like, oh, we could really do something here, and it almost happened. Almost got two, but what a race! Everything kind of went right. There was a little bit, but everything basically was smooth sailing. That was a great run.
Now tell me something, Captain Canada. I saw you two touched at the end after you two crossed the line. Was that a good handshake, or was that a message that you were sending to the Yankee that just beat you?
It was more like a good job. I did everything I could. It was 16 thousandths. I said, hey, good run. We brawled it out between each other. We made sure that one of us was gonna win. So he did a good run. He deserves a good thanks.
You ran great all day. You're representing. As someone from Vancouver, BC, I respect the hell out of that. Thank you so much. Keeping
all good. Hell yeah.
Beating them at their own game keeps the Americans a little bit humble, which is very
Hey,
good.
Keegan did it. Why can't someone else?
Exactly right.
Well,
but
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but big thanks to you guys for putting on the show. It's broadcasting this, so hopefully the fans enjoyed. I sure wish it was 16,000 the other way.
Yeah. I mean, everybody wishes 16,000 the other way, but man, nonetheless, you fell short, but had a great race to the finish. Can't wait to see what you do in 2 weeks' time at Bristol Motor Speedway. But other than the fans and everybody else, and the little bit of shout outs that you got, if you have any other ones, the floor is yours.
Big shout out to you guys in broadcast. As I said before, the viewers for watching it. They're the ones who make this possible, kind of thing. Aiden for working with me basically all of stage 1. Yeah, stage 3. Jared Lieber for the work on the set. Phenomenal, absolutely perfect. And the admins, they're the one who run the show as well, so big props to them. And yeah.
All right, Alex, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here. Celebrate that second place finish by a mere 16/1000ths of a second, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to
Later,
do
bud.
it for our second place. For our second place finisher of Alexander Russell. Now we're going to be joined by our race winner chicken dinner, the number 13 EPI machine, Aiden Beerline. Aiden, this is Dylan and Patrick at the booth. Get a copy.
Yes, sir. I do.
All right, Aiden. You had the speed all race long, battled hard, kept your truck clean. Obviously, that's the way you want to have it, especially here at Las Vegas, a very aerodynamic track that you need all 4 corners straight on the truck. But, man, first you got second in stage number 2, kind of a little bit risky in stage number 2, but able to get it done. And then stage 3, that's where that number 13 machine really came to life.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just finding the right people to work with, and it seems like every week me and Alex work together, we just get better and better. And, I mean, man, I didn't think I had anything for him there at the end, and we found something out of a hat, and it worked.
Well, it kind of looked like going into turn number 1 and 2, he got a little bit tight, went up the racetrack, and that's where you took your shot, went on the inside, and I think probably, obviously from a racer standpoint, for myself and probably you, if you didn't take that shot down to the inside to get around the number 27, that could have been your only shot to get around him.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I thought I went a little too early, but it was the perfect time to go. Kept them side by side for like a lap or 2 there, and it worked out in our favor coming across the finish.
Yeah, I mean, you did what you had to do, but Patrick, is there any questions you'd like to ask our race winner here tonight?
I don't. I just wanted to just say incredible drive from you at the end, but actually I do have a question. We were talking about this in the booth just briefly. What was your thoughts of the final 3 laps? We were guessing back and forth if you're just going to ride around with them for a little bit to get that gap just a little bit bigger than 3 seconds from the pack behind you, or were you just looking for a way past? I saw you were shimmying left and right, zigzagging. Were you just waiting for an opportunity and it finally came to you? What was your thoughts there?
Yeah, I wasn't really looking for an opportunity. I didn't think there was going to be one. It seemed like if there was a third person with us, it would have been a different story, but it seemed like the bubble that was in between his back bumper and my front, I couldn't overcome it. And we tried a different line in 1 and 2, and it worked, and it slingshot us around him, or underneath him, I should say. And I was like, well, I might as well do something with it. So we did, and man, just what a finish.
Yeah, an absolute phenomenal finish here by .016 was the margin. But Aiden, before I let you get on out of here, is there anybody on that number 13 machine you'd like to give a shout out to? The floor is yours.
Well, first off, I got to thank Jesus Christ, my mom, for watching every broadcast I'm in, no matter what time of night or day it is. EPI for providing wicked fast setups. What Liebert does on these truck sets is just mind-boggling quick, and it's insane. All teammates, Steven, Zach, Charles, Nate, and Alex were working together there, and yeah, I mean, we just dominated that race, and it was a blast to be up front. And you all put on an amazing broadcast.
All right,
Thank
Alec.
you.
Yep, yeah. We want to give a big shout out to you as well for coming out here, showing your support, and getting done what you need to get done. And congratulations on the race win. Go ahead, take the week off, get that little joyous moment out, and then it's back to the grind at Bristol Motor Speedway in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you all.
All right, that's going to do it for our race winner of Aiden Beerline. Man, oh man, was that race something to watch, as Aiden able to get the win here tonight, as race has concluded here tonight. Just an absolute blast of a race all the way in and through, as race is over. The week's over, I guess you could possibly say, for a lot of this. A lot of people, me personally, I'm getting ready to go in to do clock in for my shift at work. But, man, tomorrow night you're going to have Brendan Polt and David Tilford in the broadcast booth for the Core Premier Series season number 11. I'll more than likely be down on the track with those drivers as we get ready to start the second half of the season. Monday night, no broadcast for CRN, along with Tuesday night, no broadcast for CRN as well. Wednesday nights, you got the Casual Sim Racing League on tap with Joe Sullivan and Carl Hedwerk in the broadcast booth. Thursday night, you're going to have Wednesday night, you're also going to have Jimmy Covert and Derek Sherman in the broadcast booth for the Smoky Mountain Grassroots Late Model Stock League as their season starts coming down, winding to the end. Thursday night, you're going to have Jimmy and Carl Hedwerk in the broadcast booth for the Velocity, I believe it's the Velocity Racing League. Next gens on the Thursday nights, and then you're going to have John Obinger in the broadcast booth for the Core GT series, so you don't want to miss that. And I did forget Tuesday night, you're going to have the UCRL Xfinity League. I'll be down on the track along with some other drivers and super competitive people, as Jimmy and Carl will bring you the live coverage from that on Tuesday night. Friday night, no broadcast, and then Saturday, obviously no broadcast. We're on an off week due to, obviously they're going to do one off week for to get everything situated for the first end of the stage. It's been a great pleasure being the broadcaster here tonight. Patrick, I want to say thank you for stepping on in, helping me out in the broadcast booth. Could have done it without you, buddy. It's been actually brilliant having you alongside, getting you out of the little bit of a comfort zone, getting you out of the car, letting you relax a little bit, keeping your incident points to yourself. Don't have to worry about no damage, nothing like that. But it's been an absolute blast.
It's been a pleasure, and I'm once again, as I said earlier, thanks again for inviting me. Thanks to the admins for throwing this on. I mean, I'm thank God we got a week off. I mean, it's gonna take me a week to process that finish, but and it's also good to get out of the car. Usually they'd be looking for a Crystal Pepsi late model out on track, but it's good not to have a target on my back. The people who have rivalries with me in the coming season, you guys can wait. And you can add some incident points to me then, maybe demote me for my A rating. But for now, I think I'm very comfortable up here. I haven't seen any red dots around here yet, so I feel comfortable for now. But no doubt they're looking for me. But it's been a blast.
Yeah, it's definitely been a blast. Want to give another big shout out to Mardone PC for coming on board, Brian Haynes, and all them guys out there at Mardone PC. Can't thank you guys enough. Eli Childs. Allowing CRN to provide the coverage for the NIS Truck Series and all the drivers that make it out here each and every week. Wouldn't be anything without you guys. But that's going to do it for myself and Patrick Dobransky in the broadcast booth. It's been an absolute pleasure. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.